Ramsuratkumar ki Jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar arpanastu. Offering our pranams with million thanks for this no small grace of His, because of which we are able to be here and sing the name together. We have been going through some glimpses. And today we shall see how Padhuka Pooja invites Bhagwan's grace, Bhagwan's presence. I have already touched upon this topic of Padhukas, how Vijayalakshmi Amma wanted a pair of Padhukas for her puja room, and when she bought something from the Khadi and brought it, I told her we could make one of wood and get it blessed. When she agreed, at the time I was staying in Shri Reddy, the nutrient chairman's place, with his daughter Sandhya. So with the help of Shri Reddy, we had the carpenter come to Kripa, the house of Shri Reddy, frequently visited by Bhagavan. For that we needed measurements. So when we appealed to Bhagavan together that we wanted his outline, the outline of his pada, he graciously agreed. So we had taken a large size paper with us. So when we offered it to him, he just put it on the floor and stood on it. Just imagine Bhagwan condescending to do that for the sake of the devotees. He so graciously stood upon this paper, the white paper. So we hastily drew the outline, she on the one side and I on the other side. After we drew the outline of his feet, he graciously stepped out and we preserved those measurements, and then I took it to Shri Kripa, Shri Reddy's place, and had the Padhukas made by the carpenter of Ramanashram. It had come out so beautifully. And then I just put it in a box, well cushioned, and took it over to him. Of course, he received it with such joy, and then he put it on his chest, put it on his lap, and then on his head, and then he wore it, and then he was walking up and down. He walked for some time. After the blessings were over, he handed them over to me. What a picture it was to see him doing all that, energizing the Padhukas for the sake of the devotees. At that time, we had no idea what was in store for us. We were bent upon getting the pair of chappals, the sandals from Bhagwan. It's only on my way back, it suddenly struck me that we could cover this wooden sandals with silver or gold, which meant we had to make a silver covering for it that would fit in exactly, or the golden. But I was not sure whether I should select the gold or silver for that. And I could not go back to ask him. So I decided I would ask Arunachaleswara himself to give me a cue. I decided if Arunachaleswara was wearing a silver covering, then of course we would have silver sheath for that. If it is golden covering, then that would be gold for us also. And they said that they would not put it every day. So it could have been one of those ordinary days when Arunachaleswara would look very simple, with simple decoration. But as it happened, after I made the sankalpa, after I decided I would take the hint from Arunachaleswara himself, we went there, and then I had already related all these details. He was wearing silver, then I took it to Chennai. We got it made, and we also did Padhuka Pooja to that. After that, Shri Ponkamaraj said he would take it to Kanimadam, the temple, that it would be, if it should be taken to the puja room of Vijayalakshmi Amma, it would serve only a few people, but if it went to a temple, it could serve a larger cross-section. And of course, we agreed immediately, realizing the truth of that, and then we gave it to him. But then we said that he should take permission from Bhagwan, because all along we gave Bhagwan to understand it was meant for Vijayalakshmi Amma. By the time he had a box also made for that, which was brought to Tiruvannamalai. And after that, we all went together to see Bhagwan, and Bhagwan blessed it very nicely once again. After learning that it was going to Kanimadam, he too agreed, and he blessed it nicely. So from there, the Padhukas began to travel. It went to Madurai first, to Dr.Nachiappan's place, and they welcomed the Padhukas just as they would welcome Bhagwan. Indeed, in truth, it was that. And they did Padhuka Pooja to that. After that, Sashirekha and Chandrashekar, the couple from Aruppukottai, they wanted it done in their house. So with much excitement and expectation, they were waiting to receive Bhagwan's Padhukas, and they had arranged for a video also for that. So their son, Shri Saravanan, was ready with the video equipment. And the Padhukas entered the house, and it was like Bhagwan entering, and they were so happy and overwhelmed. And they promptly did all those abhishekams. But the thing is, once they started doing this abhishekam, the picture would not come on the screen. The video did not work. They felt very bad, but then Shri Soundararajan, Sashirekha's brother, immediately pacified Sashirekha and Chandrashekar, saying that, see, Bhagwan had come in his subtle body. How could you catch that subtle body in a picture? The very fact that it's not showing on the TV screen means he is there in his subtle body. He accepted all those abhishekams, all those anointments. So he said, be assured that Bhagwan is very much here. So after the abhishekam was over, they decorated, they put it on a swing. And suddenly, the picture came on the screen. And after that, it began to work. It was a mystery why it would not work during the abhishekam time. Nobody knew. And of course, it was completed. And then Sashirekha couple, they saw everybody off. But then Sashirekha was very agitated. She did not show it. She kept smiling to people. She kept being hospitable. And after she sent them away, she rushed to puja room and began to cry. She cried and cried and cried her heart out and said, Bhagwan, why would you do this to us? Why wouldn't you come in the video? Have we done anything wrong? How will I know that you have come? Please give me an indication that you indeed were there when we did this abhishekam. She begged before the photograph of Bhagwan, and then she took a plate, put some camphor, lighted it and said, Bhagwan, I'm just leaving it here. Please give me one indication that you have been here. She cried and then she hurriedly left the place, closed the door after her. And a few minutes passed. Somehow she was so frightened. Suppose there was no indication at all. What would she do? Yet she had to find out what it was all. So she opened it, and to her great wonder and surprise and delight, she found the camphor had burnt well and left a mark. And the mark showed the turban and the face of Bhagwan, and also a small circular spot of the ashes, at the center of which was an yellow color, at the center of which was bright red, as though Bhagavan was saying that he accepted the Vibhuti Abhishekam, the turmeric Abhishekam, and the decorative kumkum, everything. And what was more, added to it was his own figure, his face with the turban. Now she was happy, so happy that Bhagwan had indicated that he was present there and accepted all their offerings. Then, of course, they took the photographs that were taken, they sent through Saravanan, their son, to Sannidhi Street House, to Bhagwan. When Saravanan talked about the photographs and gave it to him, Bhagwan said, I don't have to see because I've seen them all. I was there. when the puja was taking place, when the abhishekam was taking place, this beggar was there. This beggar has seen all these photos already. But since you insist, this beggar will see it again. And then he took them in hand one by one and then blessed them very nicely and gave it back to him. His declaration, this beggar's body is here, but this beggar's heart was there. This beggar was there. Though the body is here, this beggar was there alive while the puja was going on. Isn't that what he said about Kanimadam also? This beggar's body is here, but this beggar's soul is there in the Kumbhabhishekam. Bhagwan had declared many, many times that when people celebrate the Jayanti of Bhagwan, wherever they celebrate, they would be able to feel the presence of Bhagwan. Even though he was physically present only in Tiruvannamalai at Sannidhi Street House, he was saying that wherever people celebrate Jayanti, they would be able to feel as if they were truly present in the gracious, vibrant presence of Bhagwan. They would feel as if they were sitting right in front of Bhagwan. This is what he kept assuring. He told me also several times that. So, wherever Bhagwan is being worshipped, there Bhagwan is present. In his subtle body, and it would be like sitting right in his physical presence. This is the assurance, this is the word of Bhagwan to all of us. Now we shall have one more glimpse of Bhagwan. All these leelas, I do not choose. I just pray to Bhagwan, please give me something for today. And that is how they present themselves to me. Now this is about Shri Soundararajan, brother of Sashi, who worked for Bhagwan at Sannidhi Street House. He was the gatekeeper. He was Bhagwan's attendant, the fortunate boy who served Bhagwan, even at that young age. He was a teenager at that time. Shri Soundararajan was working in Indian Bank. For several years he was in Trichy, and there he had a guru by name Veerappa Swamigal who was guiding him in all his problems. When he shifted to Tiruvannamalai and began to live there, his father Ramaswamy, while riding a bicycle, fell down and broke a bone in his thighs, after which he became bedridden, unable to move about. They gave him treatment and still it was not healing. It was not setting. And he was in great pain. So somebody spoke about Muthuvel Vaithiyar of Kuchipalayam near Tirukovilur. So Shri Soundararajan went to Kuchipalayam, Muthuvel Vaithiyar, to consult for his father. But Muthuvel Vaithiyar is an ardent devotee of Yogi Ramsuratkumar Bhagwan. So he said, first you take blessings from Bhagwan and then come to me. Otherwise, see, you are saying that he had broken a bone in the thigh and he is a sugar patient. His sugar is very high. And it may be difficult, it may take quite some time to cure him. But if you obtain Bhagwan's blessings, you can be sure that it would heal soon. So that is how Shri Soundararajan, he went there for the darshan of Bhagwan the first time with his wife and children. Bhagwan had come out for something and then immediately he sat there on the steps and asked these people's names and then blessed them nicely. And after that, he said, you could go. This beggar leaves you all. So when he went and reported to Shri Muthuvel Vaithiyar that he could not bring himself to speak about his father at all because the darshan was very quick and short. Then Muthuvel Vaithiyar suggested, okay, you go alone. He would definitely give you a chance this time. So he went again, and this time Bhagwan called him inside and asked him what it was all about. And then Bhagwan said, yes, take him to Muthuvel Vaithiyar. He's a very good doctor and he will become all right. Your father will become all right. At the time, Soundararajan said, I have a guru in Trichy who said the operation is not necessary for him and then he would become all right. Then Bhagwan inquired about his guru and blessed them all, gave an apple and sent him away. So after that, Muthuvel Vaithiyar was very happy. These people visited Bhagwan and Bhagwan had blessed, and therefore everything would be easy now and it could be set right. And true, soon his father began to walk with a stick. Now, Shri Soundararajan says, one day when he became very close to Muthuvel Vaithiyar and they always talked about Bhagwan, and Shri Soundararajan was gradually drawn to Bhagwan. And one day when he visited Muthuvel Vaithiyar, he saw Muthuvel Vaithiyar very tired and then asked him why. Muthuvel Vaithiyar said that he was serving Bhagwan. Bhagwan needed some attendance and that he needs a boy or someone to serve him. Then Shri Soundararajan said he had a brother, Sashi, who was serving at the time his father because father was not well, that he could spare him, that Sashi could come and serve Bhagwan. And then they went there and Bhagwan immediately accepted Sashi, and that's how the fortune started for him. What penance, what meritorious deeds that Sashi did to earn this merit, this golden opportunity to serve Bhagwan at that young age. You know, whenever we visited Bhagwan, we could never be sure that Bhagwan would give darshan. Sometimes he would be at a distance and say, go away, this beggar is busy now. Sometimes he may call us inside and sit with us even for hours. Sometimes he wouldn't even show up, send somebody to say that he was busy and we could go. So we were never sure we would get darshan at all. The time I travelled from Salem to Tiruvannamalai, I would die 100 times thinking, what if he would not give me darshan? And then I would pray and pray, Bhagwan, please, I must have at least a glimpse of you. And we used to be jealous of Sashi, and we would wait for his glance, Sashi's glance to fall upon us so that he would pass on the word to Bhagwan that we had come. He was in such a fortunate position that he was monitoring the crowd, he was keeping the gate, and he was serving Bhagwan in other ways also. Once Sashi became ill. He started to vomit and there was high fever. And then his brother was informed. Shri Soundararajan went there and Shri Soundararajan thought maybe Sashi would become all right soon if he stayed at home under the intensive care of his mother, the loving care and concern of his mother. So immediately he went to Bhagwan and said, Swami, I will take Sashi to his mother. Under the care and love of mother, he would heal soon. Bhagwan smiled and said, yes, you can take him. And then when he took Sashi home, mother was pouring love, care and attention. Despite all that, his condition became only worse. His fever increased, vomiting increased, and no matter what medicine was being given, he still did not become all right. Then his brother had realized, my God, what have I done? There is Bhagwan with all his power and grace. I went and told him that Sashi would become all right by coming home and under the good care, under the loving concern of his mother, that he would heal soon. What did I do? What ignorance! What a fool I was to suggest it to Bhagwan, who by one glance of his would set things right. He felt very bad. He took Sashi again to Tiruvannamalai to consult another doctor. They wanted to have some tests done, blood test and all that. So he brought Sashi once again to Bhagwan. And then Bhagwan looked at him with such love and tenderness, a care and concern much more than a mother's. And then he said, yes, now you go to the new doctor, you have all those tests done and take medicine and you will be all right. So saying, he gave him some oranges, orange fruits, and sent him away. So they went and got the tests done and they returned home with medicines from a new doctor. And after Sashi began to take the juice of the oranges given by Bhagwan, he became gradually better. Then he realized, so did his brother, the power of Bhagwan. And Sashi started to write Bhagwan's Nama in a notebook. And he became completely cured, free from the disease. So we understand from this incident how ignorant we could get. All of us make mistakes with Bhagwan, little knowing about the glory of his power. Bhagwan let him go. He did not say, no, this beggar would cure him. Let him stay put. Instead he said, okay, let him go to his mother. And then they understood that Bhagwan was above all. One loving glance from Bhagwan could do anything. It's also a lesson for all of us that Bhagwan, we should never doubt the power of Bhagwan. This Bhagwan is here there right in front of us with his hand raised in benediction. I believe once when Shri Ramakrishna had gone to Sannidhi Street House, Bhagwan said, it's very difficult for people to understand this beggar. This beggar is unpredictable, very difficult. And this beggar is in madness. But one thing is very sure. If people come into contact with this beggar in some way or the other, even if they leave this beggar with some grievances, it doesn't matter. Even if they fight with this beggar and leave with hatred for this beggar, it doesn't matter. If they just remember this connection with this beggar, my Father's blessings will give them a good life. And transformation. That a mere contact, the remembrance of contact, even if they fought with Bhagwan and left with negative feelings, Bhagwan says, assures us, if you remember even this incident, even if they leave with hatred for this beggar, if they remember even this connection, my Father would bless them. Would settle them nicely in their life. What an assurance! Who could give us except God? Bhagwan in one place also said, it doesn't matter if people do not have any devotion to this beggar, do not have love for this beggar at all, even if they think that this beggar is a friend, a casual friend, that they are equal to this beggar and we are only friends, Father would still bless them. When we were discussing it, Shri Muralidhara Swamiji had come here to the ashram at the time, and Vijayalakshmi Amma said it to him that Bhagavan says in one place, even if people are friends with this beggar, Father's blessings would come to them. Then he said, he gave us some very interesting glimpses of Ramayana, and there he said, when Ravana visited Sita in the Ashoka Vatika, the Ashoka garden, and he pestered her to be his wife, Sita Devi said, even now my husband Shri Ram would forgive you if you go and beg his pardon. And if he cannot do it, it doesn't matter. Even if you feel that he is your friend, he would forgive you. She gave a wide berth to Ravana, saying that you are so arrogant. You do not know the glory of my husband. So you are doing all this to me. But know that even if you are in your arrogance, you imagine that you are equal to Rama and that he is only a friend. Even this attitude of being a friend to him would earn his pardon to you. So when he said that, we understood that it is Rama's assurance, Rama's word, and that Bhagwan and Rama had said the same thing. When Vibhishana and a few of his friends, followers, came from Sri Lanka through the sky to take refuge at the feet of Sri Rama, people around him said they were skeptical and they said all kinds of things. They said, don't trust this man. He's an asura, he's a demon. He might be approaching us with some devious plan. We should not give place to that. But Rama said, when Vibhishana has taken refuge at this beggar, at my feet, I will give him refuge. Why, Vibhishana? Even if Ramana should approach me as a friend, I would forgive him. Forgive all that he did, all the sins he committed. This was the assurance Sri Rama gave. And we also know the story of Lord Krishna. He allowed Shishupal to abuse him 100 times. He put up with all that. And after killing him, he took his soul, he merged his soul with himself. That he gave the highest blessing. He took him into his fold and merged him with himself. So, we understand from all this, no matter how much we fight with Bhagwan, of course when we are in difficulties, we even scold Bhagwan, but still Bhagwan, once when one lady devotee approached him and said, Swami, I feel so ashamed even to look at you because the whole night I was abusing you, I was accusing you and even abusing you. Now I feel very bad even to see you. Bhagwan said, no, don't feel bad. You do whatever you want with this beggar. You are doing it with this beggar. You are connecting with this beggar. That's what is very important. This connection with this beggar in any way will still bless you. This is what he said. Fight all you can. You would still be blessed by this beggar. Do not hesitate. This was his assurance to this lady devotee. So we shall submit our today's prayers at the feet of Bhagwan, this Bhagwan, Bhagwan of boundless compassion, who knows all the weaknesses of our mind. Bhagwan, we beg you for your immediate divine intervention to free the entire humanity from the clutches of this virulent virus and bring back normalcy to the world. Kindly remove the panic from the hearts of people and arrest the spread of the disease. We hear that in some countries, European countries and the Americas, that is once again spreading fast, causing even deaths. We appeal to you again and again and again. Only you can do that. Haven't you declared you are the cosmic controller? A devotee from Pune sent a message today that it's once again spreading the Western countries, and that's the second lockdown. Only 2 countries have escaped. One is Argentina, the other is India. So Bhagwan is hearing all our prayers and doing something. And Bhagwan, please do it to the whole world, the entire world.